shortened version of the book, Death Trial of Dr. The world is a rotten place. Dani knows it. He sees it in the daily abuses, in the corruption, in the senseless violence. But when a mysterious cartel promises to grant any wish, curiosity draws him into a deadly trap. Vortex, the organization behind the offer, gives nothing away without a price. Only those who survive its ruthless contest can ask for what they want. Impossible tests, changing rules, death around every corner. Dani will have to decide how far he is willing to go and how far his own darkness extends. Part 1. The Price of Desire. The world is a rotten place. It always has been. People pretend everything is fine, but if you open your eyes, if you really look, there is only abuse, injustice, and corruption. Dani has seen it for as long as he can remember. He knows how society works. The strong crush the weak, the rich mock the poor. Criminals walk free while good people suffer in silence. And he is fed up. Fed up with seeing bullies beat up the weak. Fed up with teachers who look the other way. Fed up with adults who say that this is life and that nothing can be done. At 19, he has already decided that if the world is shit, someone has to do something to change it. He walks with his head down, hands in his pockets, kicking rocks down the street. It was another shitty day at school, same as always. Nobody does anything, nobody changes. He turns a corner and something catches his eye. A sign taped to a lamppost. At first he thinks it's just another advertisement, but there's something about it that makes him stop. Do you have a wish? Come here and we will grant it. The text is printed in bold, with an address below. There are no names, no details, just a promise. Any wish will be granted to the winner. Dani lets out a dry laugh. It's probably a scam, but when he looks around he sees more posters stuck on poles, walls, and shop windows, all with the same invitation. He thinks about pulling it out and continuing on his way, but his hand remains suspended in the air. Something inside him stirs, a thought, a possibility. What if it were real? If this contest is what it claims to be, then he could ask for what he has always wanted, to cleanse the world of the scum that rots it. Look at the address, it's not far. He walks with determined steps. Maybe this is what he has been waiting for all his life. The building is a windowless blue concrete block, huge and sinister as if it devoured the light around it. At the entrance there is a crowd. Hundreds of people have come just like him, all hoping that this place can fulfill a miracle for them. A man in a suit climbs up onto a platform and speaks into a microphone. Welcome. His smile is sharp, predatory. Today could be the day your lives change forever. Dani feels a chill on the back of her neck. There is something strange in the way he speaks, something that doesn't fit. We know why you are here, the man continues. You want something the world has never given you. Money, power, revenge, health, love, whatever, the crowd murmurs excited. But wishes aren't free. There's a price to pay. The murmurs fade to silence. The doors are open. If you cross that threshold, you accept the rules of the game. A humming sound fills the air. The massive metal doors slide sideways, revealing a dark hallway. Dani feels a pang of doubt. What if it's a trap? But then she remembers everything she hates. She remembers the injustices, the people suffering, how the world continues to rot away with no one doing anything. If there's a chance to change it, she has to take it. She takes a step forward, then another. Before she knows it, she's inside. The doors close with a metallic click. The game has begun. Part 2. Welcome to Hell. The hall is a long corridor, lit by an artificial white light that casts long shadows on the floor. There are no windows, no clocks, no visible exits, just blank walls and a line of people moving forward in silence, tension clinging to their skin. Dani feels the weight of the atmosphere. It is suffocating, as if the air had something in it that cannot be seen but can be felt. Something in her instinct tells her there is no turning back. A group of guards dressed in black and without insignia await them at the end of the hall. Without saying a word, they place a metal bracelet on her wrist. It has a number engraved on it, 03. What is this for? She asks, but no one answers. A door opens with a mechanical sound. The group enters a circular room with giant screens on the walls. There are at least 100 people here, all with their bracelets glowing in the dim light. Dani scans the faces. There are teenagers like him, men and women of different ages, some nervous, others expressionless. No one speaks. Then a metallic voice booms from the speakers. "Attention participants. The first test will begin shortly. Get ready." Dani feels a chill. People start exchanging glances. No one knows what is going to happen. Lights flicker and screens flash a red message. Test 1, the door. A loud crash shakes the room. In front of them, a metal wall slides up, revealing a narrow hallway with a single door at the end. Facing the crowd, a man in a black suit smiles with inhuman calm. "The rules are simple," he says. "On the other side of this door are numbered rooms. Only those who make it in will be able to proceed." An uneasy murmur spreads among the contestants. "But there are fewer rooms than people." The tension turns to pure terror. "And those who don't get one?" someone asks, their voice shaking. The man cocks his head, almost amused. "They die." The silence lasts less than a second before panic breaks out. Someone screams, another lunges into the hallway, and then everything falls apart. People are stampeding, pushing, hitting, desperate to get there before everyone else. Dani barely has time to react before he is swept away by the human tide. Someone crashes into him, tripping him. He sees a flash of desperation in a man's eyes before he is knocked down and trampled by the crowd. He runs. He dodges. He feels nails scratching at his arm, trying to pull him back. He shakes himself off and keeps going. The doors to the rooms are locked. On the floor, there are keys scattered with numbers engraved on them. Dani jumps over a fallen body and catches one in flight. He searches for the room with his number. He crashes into the door. Desperate hands grab him from behind. Someone screams in his face, but he doesn't understand what they are saying. He turns the key. The door opens. He throws himself inside and slams it shut. The slam echoes in the empty room. Outside, the screams turn to screams of terror, then silence. Dani leans his forehead against the door. His chest rises and falls with force. He looks around the room. A bed, a screen on the wall, a desk, nothing else. The screen lights up suddenly. A metallic voice speaks. "Congratulations, survivors. You have completed the first test." Dani does not blink. He feels no relief. Only one thought is running through his head. This is not a game. This is a slaughterhouse. Part 3. The nature of the monster. The silence in the room is worse than the screams. Dani drops onto the bed, staring at the ceiling. His body shakes, but not from fear, but from something darker. Something primal that he is only just beginning to recognize in himself. Outside, it's all over. Those who didn't get a room, they no longer exist. The screen on the wall flickers and a metallic voice interrupts his thoughts. "Attention participants. From now on, you must earn points if you want to stay alive." The screen shows a counter. Dani 50 points. These points will allow you to obtain resources, food, weapons, technology, whatever you want. A few seconds later, the images on the screen change. The test that just happened is transmitted from multiple angles. People running, hitting each other, pushing others to win their place. And then those who remained outside, collapsing to the ground as the electric current runs through their bodies. Dani clenches his fists. But make no mistake, earning points isn't free. Tomorrow, the next test will test your resolve. And remember, the screen fills with distorted images of people crying, screaming, begging. Here, only the strongest survive. The message fades out. The screen goes black. Dani stares at his reflection in the black surface. His own face feels strange to him. It looks different. The speaker in the ceiling makes a clicking sound. "You may use your points now. Choose wisely." The screen changes again. A catalog appears in front of him. Available items: food, 5 points, water, 2 points, basic first aid kit, 10 points, combat knife, 25 points, pistol with 3 bullets, 50 points. Dani falls silent. It's a game of strategy. If he uses his points on food and water, he'll be able to hold his own physically. But if someone else has a gun and he doesn't, then he won't live long enough to worry about hunger. He moves the cursor over the gun. "What are you going to do with that?" a voice in his head asks. He takes a deep breath and presses the button. Minus 50 points. A compartment in the wall slides open. Inside, there's a small black pistol and 3 bullets glinting in the dim light. Dani takes it. It's heavier than he expected. He holds it in his hands for several seconds, feeling its power. Since he was a child, he's dreamed of changing the world, but to do that, maybe he can't stay who he was. Maybe he needs to become something else, someone else, a monster. Part 4. There can only be one. The speaker buzzes with a mechanical hum. Test 2. Direct elimination. The door to the room opens by itself. Dani takes the gun and walks down the cold-lit hallway. He's not alone. The other contestants also emerge from their rooms, their footsteps echoing on metal. When he reaches a large circular room, the air is thick with tension. The screen on the wall shows a 60-second timer. Dani glances around at the others. There are fewer people now, 40 maybe. They all wear the same tired look on their faces. They all understand that the only rule in this place is to survive. The speaker booms again. Rules: each contestant has a knife. When the timer hits 0, the system will randomly choose half of you to be eliminated. Unless you kill someone first. Trapdoors in the floor open. Knives with black handles appear at each person's feet. No one moves. No one wants to be first. 50 seconds. Dani doesn't duck yet. His gun is still hidden in his pants. 40 seconds. Someone gasps. A guy steps back, shaking his head. No one looks at him. No one tells him everything will be okay, because everyone knows it won't be. 30 seconds. Dani leans down and picks up a knife. The blade is cold in his palm. 20 seconds. The muscles in his back are tense, waiting for the first move. 10 seconds. A scream breaks the silence as a man leaps at another, plunging his knife into his neck. Chaos erupts. Dani leaps back just as someone tries to stab him. He dodges, spins, and plunges the blade into his attacker's collarbone. Another knife whizzes past his face. He moves instinctively, elbowing the nose of a girl who attacks him from behind. His knife falls to the ground. Dani doesn't think, he just survives. 3 seconds. The timer flashes red. A second. A high-pitched beeping fills the room. And then, those who didn't attack die. Invisible electric shocks run through their bodies. One after another, they fall to the floor like broken dolls. Dani gasps for air, covered in blood, his knife still in his hand. The speaker returns with its metallic voice. "Congratulations, you've shown your determination." The doors open. Dani crosses the threshold, leaving the corpses behind. There's no turning back now. This isn't a game, it's a war, and he intends to win it. Part 5. The World We Left Behind. Dani doesn't know how many are left. No more than 20. The survivors walk in silence, guided through the building's sterile hallways, their footsteps echoing on metal. No one speaks. No one looks at each other. There are no allies here, only predators waiting for the right moment to strike. The loudspeaker blares for the last time. "Finalists, only one of you will leave here alive." The group stops. In front of them, a door opens to reveal a circular arena lit by bright lights. Rows of empty seats surround the battlefield as if an invisible audience were watching them from the darkness. The screens project their faces. The audience is watching. Dani clenches his fists. Welcome to the final test. Here, there are no rules. There are no restrictions, just one condition. The last one standing will be the winner of Death Trial. The ground beneath their feet vibrates. Barriers emerge around each of them, separating them. A compartment opens in front of them. Inside is a weapon. Knives, guns, clubs. Dani sees the gun with a single 3-round clip. 3 shots. He looks at the others. Some raise weapons immediately. Others freeze. The loudspeaker beeps one final time. Let the hunt begin. The ground beneath their feet shakes. The barriers come down, and all hell breaks loose. A shot pierces the air. A bullet slams into a boy's head before he can react. Another leaps at his opponent with a machete, but is knocked down with a metal bar. Dani runs, dodging a stab that grazes his shoulder. He turns and shoots. Bang, a body falls. He moves his eyes quickly. 3 people fight a few meters away from him. A girl kicks a man and pushes him against a wall. She takes the opportunity to plunge a knife into his stomach. Dani counts mentally. There are 8 left. A shadow appears behind him. He reacts too late. Something hits his side and throws him to the ground. His gun slips from his hand and he falls a few meters away. He looks up just in time to see his attacker. A huge guy with a metal bar in his hands. Dani rolls to the side just as the bar hits the ground where his head was. He kicks the man's leg and knocks him off balance. He lunges for his gun. He grabs it, turns, and shoots. Bang! The body falls to its knees before collapsing. 4 left. The last contestants circle around, weighing their chances. No one wants to make a mistake. Dani hides behind a column, his breathing ragged. He has only 1 bullet left. A sound to his left. Someone is coming. He holds his breath. He waits. And at the last second he lunges. He grabs his opponent's arm before the knife reaches it. They spin, struggle, fall to the ground. Dani slams his elbow into the other's face and hears the crack of his nose breaking. He frees himself, crawls to his gun and aims. The other raises his hands, his nose bleeding. Wait, bang. 2 left. Dani slowly stands up. Across the arena, the last survivor watches him. It's the girl who stabbed the man in the stomach. Her eyes gleam with the same rage as his own. "One of us is getting out of here," she says, her tone neutral. Dani nods. She charges at him with her knife raised. Dani throws the empty gun at her face, distracting her. The moment she takes cover, he lunges, knocks her down, and plunges his own knife into her chest. She flinches. Dani holds her as her life fades away. And then everything goes silent. The speaker booms one last time. "Winner contestant 03. Dani feels a wave of emptiness in his stomach. Winner? What does winning mean after all this? The screens keep streaming. A man in a suit appears from the shadows and walks toward him with a fake smile. "Congratulations, Dani. You have won death trial. Now your wish will be granted." Dani doesn't answer. He looks around. The arena bathed in blood, the screen showing his face, the cameras broadcasting every second. The audience watches him. They smile, they cheer. He is their entertainment. Dani laughs. Low, deep, dark. He raises the gun, aims at the cameras. "My wish," the lights flicker. The alarm sound, "is to destroy this damn system." Shoot. The feed cuts out. The screens go black, and the real revolution begins. Get the book at planetalibre.com.